Good morning YouTube. Slightly different video today. Going to look in more detail at my Sur Ron. I believe it's the first UK registered Sur Ron in the UK back in the end of September 2018, so it's coming up for MOT next month. So I've done several things. The first is I've cleaned it properly, where normally it just gets the lights and the number plate cleaned. It's actually come up looking rather well if the lights don't go off. And secondly, I had a look on how many left on the internet, and in 2018 there were 16 Sur Ron like these registered in the UK, and in 2019 there were 69, and in 2020 there were 260, and an all-time high this year in 2021, 315 Sur Rons registered for road use, which means there are 660 Sur Rons out there being used on the road. So if you've got one, drop me a like. So let's just have a quick look at the Sur Ron. As I've said, I've cleaned it the first time ever for the MOT. I had a couple of loose spokes in the back wheel, but again nothing but a little twist of the spoke spanner doesn't tighten up, and one loose spoke on the front wheel. I have fitted new brake pads front and rear, because if I show you the old one you will see there is next to absolutely nothing on it. These are sintered pads. I get a couple of hundred miles out of them, that's all, but they're about £10–11 from Amazon, so not too bad. When I first got the bike I was forever tensioning the chain, and I changed the chain for a heavy duty X-ring DID chain. It wasn't expensive, about 40 quid I think, yeah, and I've never tensioned it since. So it just does what it needs to do. Again, it's been cleaned and lubed, so tighten the spokes, check the trueness, no slack in the bearing at all, no slack in any of the suspension, never touched the rear shock apart from a bit of rebound adjustment. Chain cleaned and lubed. This is the homemade hugger that I put in with a little metal bracket there. It keeps a lot of the crap from coming up the seat and around your legs, still does get there. Handlebars wise, this is my lights on off switch, which cuts the earth to the lights, so when I go off road I've got no lights, no brake lights, no headlight, no tail light. Otherwise if you turn it on the road, headlight, tail light and brake lights. Front, no real modification at all again. Wheels true, wheel bearings okay. I did the headstock bearings for the second time a couple of months ago, and they're absolutely fine. There's no play in it, but all they are like a nylon bush. They don't actually a ball race at all. It's like a push nylon bush, but considering the off-road abuse it gets, it doesn't do too badly, so that's okay. Obviously checked all the lights and brakes. New front brake pads as well. If I look here, so new front brake pads as well. So there, brings the lever right back. Yeah, was considering bleeding them, but they're absolutely fine. That's really about it. Still plenty of tread left on the Maxxis tyres. They have worn. They are going flat in the middle from the road use. The front one, again, not bad. Worn in the middle, but not bad at all. They're great on the road. See my other video. I've oiled the twist grip. There's a little oil hole just here because it does tend to get very stiff. So I'll just every now and again pour some oil down this hole here, and it just frees up the throttle. I wouldn't exactly say it's light. I don't think it ever has been, but otherwise it just gets too stiff and it hurts your arm. And that's really about it. Checked everything else over, no loose bolts, whatever. So fingers crossed for the MOT, the first road legal Sur Ron in the UK. The only other thing I clean regularly when it's dirty is the cooling fins on the controller unit just here. Just because obviously it's designed to keep the electronics cool, and if it gets caked in a couple of inches of mud, which it does, it's probably not cooling very well. The horn is always in the line of mud, and I'm amazed that's still working, because normally it's absolutely caked of mud, yeah, and it quiets it down a bit. But everything else, there's a bit of a tree in there, everything else is as it was, and I have to say, finish wise, it doesn't look too bad. It's obviously quite heavily scratched on the plastics and the trees and the bushes, and you can see the amount of mud in between things, but it's not actually fared too badly. I mean, there are one or two fixings which have corroded somewhat with the salt on the road in the winter, but overall it's not too bad at all. So, one of 660. Hope you enjoyed this short change of a video. Once I get it MOT'd, it'll be back on the road. So long, thanks for watching, bye.